President Trump's attorneys, Rudy Giuliani and Sekulow, are sounding off on bias within the special counsel's team after the release of that Mueller report. One America's Neil W. McCabe sat down with President Trump's legal team and has part 2 of that exclusive interview.
Just to talk about Flynn, the FBI agents did not go through the White House counsel's office, which
outrageous.
was a break of protocol.
Outrageous. And Jim Comey said he did it because he thought that the White House was newly in and they were not organized enough yet, so he took advantage of the situation.
So he spoke to a corrupt intent, Comey did.
Yes. He saw a vulnerability, tried to exploit it to harm someone.
And that phone call...
This is a guy that's writing books on ethics and leadership.
So that phone call was in the Dominican Republic. There was poor signal. They had to keep... The call kept dropping. So you could... I don't think Flynn even heard half the words in that conversation. And then when you add... The FBI has a crystal clear transcript from their satellite tap. And then... So the interview with Flynn had nothing to do with advancing an investigation because they had the transcript.
Well, you're often asked a simplistic question. If you're innocent and you didn't do it, how can you be trapped into perjury? You can be trapped into perjury because somebody else will commit perjury. Also, in this particular case, that was a giveaway that they love to do perjury traps.
Yeah.
That was early in the investigation. If they were interested in getting more facts, instead of keeping that transcript secret, hidden in the desk or the briefcase, they'd have put it in front of Flynn. And then they say, General, read that. Does that refresh your recollection? Oh, yeah, it does. And then you get more facts. Well, I remember this, and I remember that, and I remember this. They had no interest in refreshing his recollection.
No, James
They had no interest in the truth. They hid it, and then they took it out on indictment day.
Comey said, I didn't go through the White House counsel, which is normal protocol, because they were new, and I thought I had an opportunity.
Because of the press.
That's pretty awful.
Because of
and that's what is ironic to me, that James Comey's out lecturing about ethics and leadership when the guy... First of all, he gets in front of the cameras and explains all these things that he said Hillary Clinton did wrong, and then does his, we're not going to prosecute, which wasn't fair to her, for that matter. I mean, because we don't believe that the FBI should be intervening in anybody's campaign. Then he leaks a memo of a private conversation he had, or a conversation he had with the President of the United States. But he only leaks it through a friend for a variety of reasons.
Probably lying about it.
Which he does, of course.
He's probably lying about the conversation.
And he puts it out there through a friend because, he did, for a variety of reasons, he said. This was the FBI director.
Well, that memo would have been, that conversation's governed by privilege.
Of course, on his government computer,
and
that he put it in his government desk.
He held it for 3 months.
And against FBI rules to take work product outside.
Yeah,
Just think of how stupid an obstruction case would be. So some of these out-of-control prosecutors, probably believe, oh, that's an obstruction.
Yeah.
The reality is, the conversation was in February. The president said it didn't take place. He didn't reveal that memo until May. When did he get obstructed? In May? All of a sudden in May, he reread the things. Oh, my God, I was obstructed. Well, if he was obstructed, if it happened, he'd have reported it in February. And in fact, somebody should figure out, if he didn't report it, what rules did he violate as the FBI director, if he thought that was a criminal act? And if he didn't think it was a criminal act, why the hell is Weissman investigating it? This is such a horrible perversion of our justice system. I'd like to say something else, because the president's been misunderstood on this. The president has no doubt that the vast majority of FBI agents and Department of Justice people are honest, hardworking people. I've worked with them all my career, 20 years in the Justice Department. These are politicians at the top that are crooks. No field agent is implicated in anything. Everybody in that New York field office, Washington field office, can be very proud of themselves. They should be embarrassed of the politicians who are running them. A couple of them are really sleazy liars. But that happens in all organizations. You get a couple people at the top every once in a while. Just got to clean it out. Maybe a couple people, get them out. FBI is a great organization.
The last question is, was in your conversations with the president, to the degree that you can say...
We can't, but go ahead.
I'm going to try anyway. Was he worried?
No, it wasn't. Look, I'm not going to... Rudy and I aren't going to say what conversations with the president, but no, the president was focused. I would say the word was focused. It was not worry. It was, this is taking time away from other things, and that's what bothered him.
Most of the time, I was amazed at how able he was in the middle of some crazy revelation, this bombshell and that bombshell. Oh, Cohen's going to testify. Oh, my God, he's going to go down. It's going to be impeachment. He'd deal with us. Get a phone call, say, excuse me, I got to deal with Mike Pompeo, or I got to deal with the Secretary of the Treasury, or I got to talk to my chief of staff. sometimes, even in preparing him
Yes.
and going over the questions and answers, it was hard because you didn't get like a 3-hour just session.
You got blocks of 15 minutes wait for an hour or two while he was dealing with something else. Comes back.
We have a picture we took, probably not allowed to take it, in the cabinet room, because he and I were hanging out in the cabinet room going over the final Q&A, and we were getting brought into the White House. You know, North Korea, out.
Yeah.
Come back in. China, out. I think they were also dealing with the government shutdown.
Yes, all that was going on.
Possible government shutdown.
But anyways, you know what the bottom line is?
What's that?
Good day for the country.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.